What's up, everyone? I'm Virginie from Better Music, and this is my podcast, Better Minds. On this podcast, we will have conversations about life, health, struggles, and music. I hope this place will make you feel loved and safe, and I really hope this place will make you feel like you can fully be yourself. Thank you so much for listening. Welcome to this new episode. I am here today with singer-songwriter She Is Jules.
I'm doing okay. It has been, I have been so sick the last few weeks, just with a cold that turned into a sinus infection. And it was so annoying because having to sing, and at first I was like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. It's just a cold, but it just would not go away. So I'm on antibiotics and so annoying. But thank you for letting me reschedule and stuff. But how are you doing?
I'm good. Well, this month sucks.
No.
It's still May, but I think this month was pretty bad for a lot of people. See, you got sick for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And for me, it was a lot of stress and anxiety. And right now, I'm feeling a bit better. But yeah, it's too much stress and my body felt it.
No, I'm so sorry.
Mental health conversation. Let's go.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. That's life. I mean,
Yeah.
we're used to it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. It's crazy what stress can do to your body and how it affects it. So,
And how's your mental health?
it's pretty good today. I think it's really interesting how my kind of what you were saying with your stress affecting your physical health is sometimes it's the same for me, but sometimes having my physical health not be well makes my mental health turn, I guess, very cyclical, because I just get really anxious about, what if this happens or what if that happens. And I know that we've kind of talked a little bit about chronic illness and all that stuff before. And it's really interesting. I also have OCD, so it's very plays into each other. So recently with me being sick, it's very much a lot of that. But other than that, it's been okay. It's just when I get sick or stressed out, I'm constantly what's wrong? What could this be? And all of that. So
Yeah, we always have to listen to our body and figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
And know what to do.
Yeah, totally. I feel that 100%. It's taken me a long time to try to figure out, how to listen to my body and what is it trying to tell me. So, yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah.
So, could you tell me about your autoimmune disease?
Yeah, sure. So, I have Crohn's disease, which is it has
That's
a
tough.
lot of it's
one of my friends has it too, so she has been telling me about it.
Oh, I'm so sorry. No, it is a crazy weird thing because I grew up and my mom has always as far as I've known, she's had it for a long time. And I always knew about it, but was dealing with some stomach issues myself. But I was kind of always had that preconceived I'm probably gonna get it in my life because I just have a really messed up stomach. So it was kind of I had all these warning signs, and it wasn't out of the blue, but it was still very much shocking. So it it's not often talked about a lot. I know that there's a lot of celebrities and a lot of shame. So a lot of celebrities don't talk about it but sometimes, like every once in a while they will. Like I know like Mr. Beast has it. Like someone
Oh, he
else,
does.
like yeah, it's really interesting. He just started talking about it. I was like, oh, like not like you have to talk about your health issues with the world, but it also brings awareness to that kind of stuff. So um yeah, it's like it has a lot of, weird stereotypes, but it's so much more than just like what it's perceived as um by society, if that makes sense.
Yeah. When did you
Yeah.
know you had this disease? How many years ago?
Yeah, so oh my goodness. I got diagnosed 3 years ago. Um, but I had been showing signs for much longer, and they were like, oh, it's just like, IBS, and not really like wanting to like look deep into it. So yeah, that's when I was first diagnosed.
Okay. And which symptoms did you have?
So a lot of like going going to the bathroom a lot. And uh just random fevers. I remember that was something that like really caught me off guard, was like I would feel like flushed and like hot all the time and being like, what is this? A lot of like really tired, like fatigue, and oh my goodness, there's so many random ones. Like years before I was diagnosed, I had like a butterfly rash on my face, and that's kind of like a tell sign for autoimmune stuff. But I told my doctor that, and I was like, you know what, maybe I have something autoimmune. She's like, no, of course not, you don't. Like, why are you trying to like make this more than it needs to be? And she's no longer my doctor anymore
Good.
because that she was wrong. And it's okay to fire your doctor. They're not paying attention to your health stuff. So yeah, that's basically all the symptoms that I had before. And it was just, yeah, me being very anxious and having a lot of stress did not help the um all the stomach issues that I was having.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. So,
Crazy.
yeah, it's was not fun for sure. But it was also good being, I mean, it's stressful to get a diagnosis, but it's also helpful because then you know where to go from there, of like what treatments you can get.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
I also have an autoimmune disease.
Mm,
I have Graves' disease. I don't know if you know what it is.
I've known a little, I know a little bit about it.
It's basically something that attacks your thyroid here,
Mm,
and you have heart palpitations, always hyperactive inside your body, constantly thinking, and always super stressed and overwhelmed. It's like on the go all the time.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
when I learned about that, I felt very lonely and overwhelmed. And how about you? What did you feel when you learned about this disease?
Oh my goodness. So it's like, it's so funny. I feel like in my life, whenever like crazy things happen, they always like come in threes, or like things just like happen all at once for me. So when I was first diagnosed, it was 2 days after I got engaged to my now husband, Isaac. And um, I was I was just turning 24. So I oh my goodness. I remember it was like so much life change all at once. So it was like very overwhelming. And I was very excited to be like engaged. I was like, oh my gosh. But then it was like to have great news and then get such like life-changing news afterwards was like really weird and eerie. Um, because there was so many different parts of my life changing. So um it was also like very interesting going through like the wedding season and all that with like most, 24-year-olds, or most people who are just getting married, are like being able to like drink and party, like, handle all this stress. And I'm like going to like like in the infusion clinic and oncology. I'm getting colonoscopies. Like it is like not the average experience as like a newly engaged 24-year-old. So like that was very confusing and isolating too, because there were a lot of my friends who, were as supportive as they could be, but there were a lot of my friends who just did not get it.
Yeah.
And that made me feel very isolated as well, kind of like what you're saying.
Yeah, because they couldn't really see it. It's something you
Yeah.
cannot see.
Yeah.
And they just thought I was normal and like,
Right.
yeah. But yeah, that was
Yeah.
tough.
Yeah. Having like an invisible illness, I think like is really like can be very tricky, because it's like not a lot of people understand what your day-to-day life is like. Like even though you look okay from the outside, like there's a lot you don't see. Um, and I don't know. I don't know if you also relate with this, but I really, even when I am like flaring up, like I try my best not to show other people, because when I'm in the moment, I don't want people to like be a part of
Yeah,
that
same.
mess that I'm going through. Yeah.
But there was one time I couldn't hide it because I was so depressed. I didn't do it on purpose because my body was feeling so depressed, and I stopped smiling. My face was just nothing, and my friends were like, "Damn, you look different." And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just feel like shit.
Oh my gosh, I can't even tell you, how many times that oh, you look this way, or like I don't know, like I was like, oh, you have no idea like what I actually feel on the inside, but yeah, like it is like a weird thing with like having to share with friends and them not fully understanding, but them also want to be supportive.
Yep.
So it can be very isolating for sure.
Yep. And what kind of treatments did you have to take?
Yeah, so I was when I first got diagnosed, I was almost immediately put on a biologic, which is an infusion, and it's called Entyvio. And it worked really well for me the first 3 years. And I would go into the infusion center, so like oncology, where they like administer like chemo and everything, and all different biologics for different autoimmune diseases. And I would sit there for 2 to 3 hours while I had my infusion dripped into me. And yeah, that was my only treatment, and it worked really well for me. And I'm very, very lucky and very blessed to have it work so well, because I was put into remission within I think like a year-ish. And my doctor, it was actually my doctor's idea to put me on a biologic, even though my Crohn's, even though it seems very intense to me, it was actually like the mild version of it. So he was like, let's start you on this now so that you have more longevity later in life. And I was able to get into remission really fast, and was on it until recently, when my doctor told me to get off of it, because I was getting what they call moon face, where my face was puffing up and getting swollen immediately after. And it wasn't like from prednisone. I wasn't on any steroids, but it was an allergic reaction that very slowly, like as I look back in photos, like, oh my goodness, like my face, it feels so much more different. So my doctor was like, this is an allergic reaction. If you keep taking this, we have, a higher risk of you developing anaphylaxis, like in your throat area. And if you can't breathe, that's not a good situation.
My
So,
God.
yeah, let's probably stop this. So, I recently switched to another medication. And that's a whole nother story because that did not work out. With a medication called Stelara, which is an infusion and then injection. And I had a very bad reaction to it. So
Damn.
at this moment, I'm on nothing because there were some complications with it where I've had to like deal with the side effects from that medication. And it's almost been 4 months since I took that medication. So I am trying to figure it out. If I'm being completely honest, everything is kind of up in the air with my treatment plan at the moment.
Yeah, this is what happens with meds.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
fucks up everything else in your body and you don't know why.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. And that's the thing. Like, yeah, you take a medication and then it could possibly start a whole nother thing that you did not have to deal with. So it's like playing whack-a-mole, really.
Yeah, this is what happened to me. You get worse for some reason. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I was doing pretty good, and then I got depression. I was losing so much hair. I had heart palpitations all the time. I stopped sleeping. I was dying. I was like, and then I saw a specialist, and she told me to stop it. And now I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, so do you want me asking, are you on any medication at the moment?
Nope. I'm only
Okay.
taking this natural thing. I've been trying all the holistic ways as much as
Yes.
possible. Have you tried that?
Well, I am on a journey. I'm going to be honest. I have been doing a lot of research and talking to some people that I've met through other friends who have Crohn's and trying the holistic approach. I'm learning a lot. I think I have not fully jumped into it where it's like I'm doing all the things, but I have been implementing a lot of like anti-inflammatory like meals and more supplements, and it's been helpful. I can't say it's like been as effective yet as like a biologic, but I feel like it's on a journny I'm on. It's a journey I'm on.
You have to try it all. Well, almost.
Yeah.
This is what I did, and then you will figure out which one works for you.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Because I think everyone is different. I know in my experience within the like autoimmune chronic illness community that there's been a lot of like, no, like holistic, like, no, you got to like only stick to meds. And I feel like it's different for everyone.
Yeah.
And everyone has their own body and should be able to do what they want with treating their disease however they want. So
Exactly.
yeah, it is, but it can be some very interesting conversations before surrounding that. So it's but I think everyone's just different and people should just do what works best for them.
Yeah. I used to avoid some foods, and then I try to avoid dairy food. What else? Food with iodine. And then I try to eat more of a little bit of everything. So this is what I'm doing now. Because if you stop eating, well, for my body, if you stop eating a lot of some stuff, it will affect your body in a bad way. So right now, pretty good. I just try to eat a little bit of everything, and it's fine. For now, it's working.
Good. I'm glad. Oh my goodness. I mean, hey, it's great when that stuff works. Like a lot of people don't know this about me, but I am like, this is weird. I love to be in the kitchen. I love to cook. I love to bake. So it's been like kind of almost like fun in a weird way to be like, okay, like I'm making my own bone broth. Like I'm, doing like trying to cook or bake things that are like anti-inflammatory. And it's been I've been trying to mesh the two, like my love for like cooking and and trying to heal my body. So
I love
yeah,
that.
thank you. Yeah, it's been real interesting. I've learned a lot of fun stuff. So it's been good. Yeah.
This is what I do too. I cook every day and I try
Okay.
different stuff and it's so fun.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Do you mind me asking? Like, what is your, like your go-to meal to make?
It depends. I always try to change what I eat. I try to eat less meat.
Mm.
But I don't know the words in English, but I will tell you when I find the right words because I never had to talk about food in English.
You're totally fine. Oh my goodness.
I can tell you in French if you want. But
Oh my goodness. No, I bet you guys have amazing food there. Um, yeah.
great
Are
stuff.
they like French dishes?
Yeah,
Are they
mostly.
French dishes that you like to make? Oh my goodness. I bet it's amazing.
It's so good. It's healthy and it's so good.
Oh my goodness. Yay.
So how does this disease impact your mental health?
Oh my goodness. I had a conversation with a friend who also has Crohn's, and we were just talking about how much of a impact it has on our mental health. And you know, I think it's one thing when it's like you're freaking out about what you can or can't eat. Sometimes when you're, on this journey of like trying to fix your health with your diet, it can be very much like, if I eat this, like, will this send me into a full blown flare? Like, it really, um, it it gets like a very like into this mental game of like, oh, like this food will like heal me, and it's so not black and white like that. Like, I feel like it's very easy to paint food as like the devil, and it's or like devil, or like something that's going to fix all your problems. And like, there is just no food that's going to heal or like completely destroy you. So it's like a very much like a mental game with regarding like food sometimes. Because, I think it also doesn't help in culture today, like outside of like chronic illness, there is like this diet culture that labels food like good or bad. And I hate that kind of language around food. So even just trying to deconstruct that, and then into like my own life with my chronic illness has been like very difficult. I also think there's like food and everything that plays into that, like the whole food thing. But then there's also um something with, well, I mean, with Crohn's, it's very likely that you'll have weight fluctuations. And that was something I was experiencing at the beginning of the year. And um, I I lost a lot of weight, and I was very sick from the medication I received. And I had, you know, a lot of people mean well when they're trying to be like, oh, like you look really good. Like, I literally had a friend be like, you look like a supermodel. I'm like, I'm literally so sick. Like, and you can't see it. You just think I try to drop a few pounds just to like look good. So it's like, and then now that I've like gained some of the weight back, it's like, in a healthy way, it's like, oh, well, I don't get those compliments anymore. So it's like a very much like a mental game regarding like body image, which,
Yeah.
that's a whole nother thing with your mental health. So I can go on and on about it, but and it's a lot of conversations I've had with my therapist for sure.
So you did see a therapist, or you still see a therapist?
I am. Yes, I am seeing a therapist, a new therapist, from when I last released my song New Therapist. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's amazing. I love her. Um yeah, it took me a long time to find her. Um but I'm so glad she came into my life just at the right time. So yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I should see a therapist. I was talking about it with a friend yesterday, and we were just like, everybody should see a therapist. And I think, yeah, I think it's so key to do that, to talk to someone you don't know and to have another point of view. Because we always talk about traumas and illness and all that with my friends. And we got better because, we did the work by ourselves. But maybe if we could see a therapist, that would be even better.
I highly recommend exactly what you're saying about like an outside perspective. I think like it's so helpful to have someone who has like an actual like, I mean, I talk to my friends all the time, but it was like a totally different when I like went to a professional who like sees this stuff every day. And she sees things in me that I don't think I catch. So yeah, I think like it's really interesting to talk to someone, and very good. I would really recommend it if you're thinking about it.
I've been thinking about it, but I was telling my friends this. I'm afraid to cry because I think it would reveal something deep. So I don't know if I'm ready for that, but I should be. You know what I mean?
You know, it's okay. Like I honestly, the only time where I'm crying in therapy like has been like around my cat who passed away, which I love. So it's like there's only like it's only like every once in a while. So like but I used to be scared of that too. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm afraid of like letting out too much, or like it's gonna be too much for them. That's literally why I wrote therapist. But yeah, like I think it's it doesn't need to be, you don't need to go that deep. If you find the right therapist, I feel like they're not going to push you to make you like go that deep if you don't want to, you know?
Yeah. I think about it.
Think about it for sure. Yeah.
So how do we overcome trauma? Help me here.
How do we overcome trauma? Oh my goodness. I wish I knew. I honestly, I feel like after me personally, like coming out of like a very rough season, I don't feel like there is a quick fix. And luckily, I think from the beginning, I kind of knew that with like everything that went on at the beginning of this year with, like I mentioned, my cat passed away. It was very quick, rough, traumatic, costly. Then it was my health when I had that bad reaction to my medication. And both of those things were enough to just like make me feel like I'm going like very traumatized. I was very traumatized, both situations. And I, I feel like that I knew it was not going to be a quick fix, and it takes time and to like keep going. I know that sounds so vague. But there is like, I really feel like time does some sort of healing. And I feel like I feel like not pushing down your emotions. Like that was like really uncomfortable for me because I really like around my friends and my family, I think like I mentioned, I really tried to like hide it. But as of recently, like I wasn't able to do that. Like when I was like really sick at the beginning of this year, like I had to cancel on a lot of plans, and people would be like, why? And I would have to explain why. And, whether we have to like be pushed to like tell about our situations or we're like willing to talk about them. I think it's good to not push it down, because that's something I've really learned. It's just like, it's okay to just to feel crappy and just like let it out. And I guess time, I don't know if there is no right answer to overcoming trauma, but I feel like as a reset, that's stuff that I have learned that it's helped me. But I don't know, even my therapist was like, honestly, this is like really not fun situation that you've been in recently. So like, it's okay. Like, it's okay if this is just a bad part of life. And within that, there's still good little pieces here and there. Nothing is all good or bad, but I don't know if any of that made sense. But
Yeah.
Maybe there's a few nuggets in there that are
And I just think that we don't completely heal from a trauma. I just think it gets easier with time.
Yep. I 100% agree with that.
Because it's always there. It's hidden, but it's always there. And sometimes one thing can remind you of that trauma, and then you go back to live your life again. But it just gets easier to live, I think.
Yes. I agree with that so much. Yeah, because I don't think yeah, exactly. I think like time and like talking about it helps, but I'm still always going to be hurt or like not feel like any of that stuff that I went through was right or just. Like, it's just not good, and that's okay. And I don't know, I had to be okay with trying to accept that in my life, that it's just something that I won't maybe ever heal from, but it's just easier to live with now.
Yeah.
So exactly what you're saying. I say that so often. So thank you for bringing that up.
I'm a therapist.
Yes.
Like you said, I used to push down my emotions too.
Yeah.
I would keep everything inside, and that was a bad thing to do. So now I'm trying to communicate that more often, and it helps.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. I'm glad.
Yeah, I saw a podcast about that, and she was like, you need to let your emotions out and figure out how you feel. Every time you feel angry or sad or depressed, you have to tell it and say it, and it's gonna be okay then. But that's hard. To be like, okay, I feel angry now. I feel mad. I feel depressed. Yeah.
Yeah. It can be difficult for sure.
Yeah, and that girl, she said, at one time you would feel like you want to die because there's all these emotions coming, and I felt that.
Yeah.
But that's a good thing to do that. That's hard, but that's a good thing to do if you want to heal.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with that.
So deep. I'm tired. We went too deep.
I feel like I am one of those people now, definitely did not used to be, where I can like have these conversations. Like, I don't know, whenever I do get into this, especially with like when we're talking about chronic illness, because it's something that hits home so deeply for me, that I will just dive right in. So I'm sorry.
I love that. This is what I needed. I was like, oh, hopefully she will have this deep conversation with me.
Oh, I definitely.
So last question, what advice would you give to anyone going through an autoimmune disease?
Ooh. Okay. I definitely have thought about this before.
Hmm.
I feel like this is in no particular order of like, I guess, importance. But I guess kind of what I was saying before is like whatever works for you works for you. Like whether you're trying to do the holistic like journey, or you're trying to do more Western medicine, like I feel like whatever works for you, if it's a combination of both, like you don't have to listen to people because they say you have to listen to them, or you don't need to buy their courses, or you don't need to like it's whatever you want to do with handling the cards that you've been dealt. I don't think there's any right or wrong way to go about it. And also I think alongside that is like, give yourself grace, give yourself compassion, because again, you've been dealt some pretty crappy cards that like excuse me, that like you've been dealt some pretty bad cards that like you are navigating this to the best of your ability. And I feel like if I had any other advice, it would be to find community. And that's something I'm personally still working on within the chronic illness community. Is I've been trying to find my own community. It's really funny. For a long time I didn't have anyone. So there's this page that I follow on Instagram. I forget what they're called. It's like basically like Crohn's disease memes, okay? And they're so funny. I just feel like people with Crohn's disease have like immaculate humor because we just have to deal with the most, this disease that is just like kind of, it's not funny, but it's like, oh man, this is like, we deal with humor a lot. Like I feel like that's just, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but I basically this page has helped me so much because there's all these other people who deal with the same issues that I do, that are that just have like hilarious humor. And sometimes like that's, some days that's how I want to cope, is by laughing at a meme and not feeling like I am the only person out there with this disease. And sometimes it can feel like that. So for me, again, that's just a journey that I'm on. I don't feel like I have found the best community that I'll ever be a part of for like Crohn's and everything, but that has been really helpful, even if it's like the stupid silly things like finding a meme to like laugh at, because we all deal with this thing and it's kind of like we just have to laugh about it sometimes. That's the only way I like, or one of the only ways that I can like deal with it sometimes. So I guess those are like 3 things. I'm sure I can go on and on and on about it because there's a lot of stuff I would tell my younger self when dealing with all of this. So those are just a few things.
And it's okay to fire your doctor.
Yes, and it's okay to fire your doctor.
Oh my God.
Fire them. Because it's luckily I have a great GI now, same as Dr. Lee. He's a wonderful man.
Shout out.
Shout. And there's a lot of really great doctors out there and a lot of really horrible ones.
Yep.
So
I used to have a bad one. She told me I had a bigger throat. Like she told me, "Oh, it's getting bigger," and I was like, "No,"
what?
but I got super scared. And I was like, maybe she's right. Maybe I have cancer. Maybe I have something. And it freaked me out. And then I saw the specialist and she was like, it's normal. There's nothing wrong with your throat.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So how can you say that just by touching it? There
Right.
is nothing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I feel like that's like, I mean, this goes along with that of like, it's okay to fire your doctor, but like, I think it's also like learning to advocate for yourself, like, is so hard. I think also, but like trying to learn how to do that more, even if it's like recently I was getting a blood test and just like routine stuff. And she was like, I asked if I could lay down. She was like, oh, we could just lean the chair back. And I had this like voice in my head. It was like my therapist being like, no, you stand up for yourself because you know you need to lay down, because I've been getting really lightheaded recently. And I was like, I'm sorry, I need to lay down. And like, it's those little things, whether it's like the little things of like trying to lay down during a blood test or being like, hey, actually, no, there's something wrong here, like, is so hard. But it's also like trying to learn how to advocate for yourself is so important.
Thank you so much for listening. I really wanted to focus on autoimmune diseases on this episode and the struggles we go through. I think we need to speak up about these chronic illnesses. It's a constant battle that no one can really see. It can get very isolating, but it's also interesting to figure out how our body works. And once you understand that, I believe it gets easier. So listen to your body, listen to your mind, and please don't push out your emotions. All right, see you in 2 weeks, and take care of your mind.